I'm an associate professor at Salt Lake Community College, and I've been injured for about 27 years. I was injured in a car accident involving alcohol when I was 19 years old, and that kind of inspired me to continue my education, to learn how to be healthy and active despite having a disability. I eventually earned a master's degree in exercise science. I have an injury, a spinal cord injury. I've been injured since August of 1987. And when I was first injured, I was 19 years old. I didn't really know, like, after I was injured, I didn't really know what I was going to do, how I was going to live my life. And so I went to school and studied exercise science and eventually decided to become a health teacher. Hopefully, as a teacher, I can inspire students to overcome their obstacles and also teach them to not make the same mistakes that I made as far as drinking and driving goes. I was in a writing club about 5 years ago, and we would write short stories and then read them. I started with a short story about my injury, the night of my injury, and it was about a page and a half. And then I thought, well, this would be a good idea for my class. I started the night of my injury, but I started writing what happened before my injury and then what happened after my injury, and then it kind of just went from there. And it's taken me about 5 years to complete the book. It's a short little book, but it's really taken quite a while to complete it, and I'm very happy it's done. Well, there are three things I wanted readers to learn from my book. The first part is I wanted to prevent people from drinking and driving because that is how I became injured. So I hopefully will prevent people from making the same mistakes that I made. A second theme is that I want people to understand what it's like to go through the whole process of rehabilitation after you're injured. Because when I was injured, I didn't really know what to do. I didn't know how I was going to live my life. And I want people who are injured or are going through some kind of challenge in life to realize that there are obstacles that you can overcome. And the third part of the book is I kind of want to be inspiring and show some of the things I've done since my injury and despite of my injury, and also just show that my life is just kind of a normal life. I just do normal, everyday things that everyone does with a disability. Well, I hope they learn like what it's like to live with a disability. I hope they have a better understanding of why it's important not to drink and drive. I hope they understand that life goes on and that you can live a full, complete life despite having a disability. But there are things that I could have done to prevent my injury in the first place, and so I hope they understand that. To hope maybe some people change their behavior and not do some of the same things I did as far as drinking and driving. I just try to get through my day, do the best I can, overcome obstacles I might face, and not get too frustrated. But I believe you can also live a full, complete life even if you have a disability. So you shouldn't let those challenges slow you down, and should try to, do everything you can and live a happy, productive life. Salt Lake Community College is actually very good about making sure that people with disabilities are accommodated, and whatever problems students encounter, I think the staff or the faculty will help them overcome or work within their, help them deal with these obstacles. I know that one thing that's big now is putting all the online courses, making them accessible. So that is a big challenge, to make all the online courses fully accessible, but it's something that Salt Lake Community College is actively doing. If there's a problem that arises, Salt Lake Community College has always been very good about fixing that problem the best they can. Find out what your abilities are and work on your abilities and focus on what you can do instead of what you can't do. In my own case, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to be like a manual laborer, like where I'm lifting things or where I'm moving stuff around. So I focused on going to school and earning a degree and focused on using my mind more than my body. So I think that's important to know what your limits are and also where your strengths are, and focus more on your strengths, because in my experience, when I focused on my strengths, I really didn't have time to worry about what I couldn't do because I was so focused on what I still could do.